There are two paths that we can go into in life. We can move to those paths unconsciously or consciously. And when we know that these paths exist, we can bring awareness to which path we unconsciously chose. And that could be fear or love. So, from which place are you moving in your life? From which place are you taking decisions? From which place are you taking actions? From a place of fear or from a place of love? So whenever you move into fear, you can literally transform that into love, because fear is necessary. I'm not saying fear is bad, but once you realize you're afraid, and it's so valid to be afraid, especially when you're creating the life that you want, when you're transforming yourself, when you're going after your dreams. It's so normal to have fear. Transform that fear into love. I transform that fear into believing in myself. Transform that fear into trust. Trust that even though you may seem to be alone, you're really not. You're really not. You're being guided by the divine. You're being guided by something greater than you. And when you can tap into that, everything just flows. It just flows naturally. Because your creativeness, your creative side, the side that's gonna bring a huge impact in the world and a huge impact for others, comes from a place of presence. Something deeper than you. It's not you. It's not your ego, not your identity, not who you are. It comes from deep within. It comes from a from a deeper place. That's where your creativity lies. That's where your creativity is. It's just there in presence. So acknowledge every time you're in fear, every time you want to give up. Don't resist it. Just let it be there. Let it be there. And that's love, actually. You're transforming it into love for yourself. When you're just letting yourself be as you are, with no judgment. You're a human being. You're allowed to feel emotions. You're allowed to feel afraid. But also, you're divine. And you can feel all these emotions. You can be human. You're allowed to be human. But also trust that you're divine. You're the divine. Your presence. You're something way deeper than you think, that your mind thinks you are. So be human, but move into the path of your dreams anyways. Because that comes from a way deeper place than what you're experiencing, even though it seems huge when you're experiencing it. Fear, anxiety, sadness, frustration, everything seems very overwhelming and huge, and it's really strong, and it can take over you, and you can get immersed in your stories. Well, acknowledge that as it is, as what it is, just stories, just thoughts of your mind trying to remain in an identity that you don't need anymore. I'm gonna ask you that. Do you need that identity? Do you need that identity for what you want to become? So do you need to believe in those thoughts? Or can you just acknowledge them as they are? Just thoughts. Let them be there. Let the emotion be there. But move into the frequency of trust. You can trust while being afraid. You can trust while having negative emotions, as well as you can be present. You can be present with the negative emotions. And that way you bring in some space, some awareness, just feeling into them. And allowing them to be there and just accepting them. Not resisting them. That's how they dissolve. And that's how it becomes easier and easier for you. Whenever you can bring more acceptance into your life. Whenever you can acknowledge these negative emotions, these negative thoughts, and be present with them and observe them. Consciously observe them. And let them be there. While being present and trusting. And go and take the actions that you need anyways. Go and take the actions that you need to manifest whatever you desire, whatever you want. From presence. Because that's your creative source. That's where all the magic happens. That's where your talents and your talents and your gifts develop. Like they are already developed and they're there. And you can tap into presence, into your divine self, if you want to call it that way. So that's all that I have for this video. If you want to work with me one-on-one personally, I do powerful one-on-one sessions. Just click the link that's in the description box below and to apply for a free consultation. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.